Hey guys, Dante here, and welcome back to my channel, The Burgos Art, and welcome back to our review of Season 5, Samurai Jack. We are one episode away from ending the entire series. So it is episode 9, and... Ooh, it was very nice. um, Initial reaction going into the episode. Based on last week's promo video, we see Jack traveling by himself through a city of seemingly giant robots, all dead, I mind you. And my first reaction seeing the promo was, oh, here we go. Now that Jack has found someone he likes, he's gonna abandon her because he loves her too much to put her in harm, yada, 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 yada. I was also kind of worried that, we're reaching the last 2 episodes. And, where are all the things that were building up? Where is the Scotsman? Where is the hints that these people that Jack has helped are going to show up? Like, how are you going to build into this? You have 2 episodes left. You have to have these people converge at some point. What's happening with them? I even had this idea of, like, maybe Scaramouche will show up, like, comically at the last minute. I had this really funny idea that Scaramouche was going to show up at the end of the series after everything was done to find that Aku was really dead. I'm pleasantly surprised that that wasn't the case because that would have been really predictable, but it still works. So, about the episode. It literally picks up right where the last one left off, with Jack and Ashi embracing each other and pretty much making out. Full disclosure, I was really hoping it would pick up like the day after. Like, just the day after. That way you could just assume what happened. Because we all said it. Jack deserves a little good time. Jack deserves a break from everything. But no, it actually does pick up right as they're making out, and then they split apart because they realize they're making out while covered in this nasty alien gooey slug juice, whatever, and they start spitting, and it's funny. It picks up with some funny comedy right there. And you still get that awkward Jack. Jack is still just this awkward individual that doesn't know how to act around women because he's always been that way. He's so pure and nice, just doesn't know what to do with himself half the time. And they split up for a second. Ashi goes to find clothes. Jack goes to just explore and clean himself up. And you have this cute scene where Ashi spots Jack bathing naked in the water, and she smirks. She sees him from behind, so no, there's no like glance downward and she smiles. No, she just sees him from behind and she leaves the clothes on the floor and walks away. You have this really, really well done emotional scene really quickly in the beginning of the episode, where after Jack is cleaned, has his gi back on, his hair tied up, he looks in the mirror and sees himself from the first episode of this season, with the long raggedy hair and the beard, and the reflection simply tells him, be careful. And it's such a poignant moment, rather than have a character say, I can't lose you again, or I can't give you up. Like, you have this moment where he's just terrified of what's gonna happen, and it's done so well with just that single line of be careful. She has a nice outfit. She kind of resembles Dana from Batman Beyond. Batman Beyond's girlfriend, just with like this not quite a shirt, not quite a skirt with big boots. It has to be a reference to that. It's just this long straight shirt with big black boots, and they share a moment. They discuss by a campfire Jack's past, and Jack mentions the beauty of his land, and Ashi kind of bathes in the memories that he's sharing with her, and how he basically says all he has now are memories, but he's happy to have them. He's happy to have the memories when he talks to Ashi. And then it happens. Jack the next morning's not there. He leaves. Obviously, it's cliche. He leaves. I was not happy with that, but they make up for it. The episode, the writers knew what they were doing. They weren't going to go down the cliche route. Thank goodness. Meanwhile, Scaramouche with a squid body, because remember we left him in the ocean, shows up at Aku's door. Aku has this giant cardboard cutout with like a voice box that says, "Please leave a message." And Scaramouche is like, "The hell with that." And he goes and then tells Aku, guess what? Jack's lost his sword. And that is fun, because I thought that was going to carry over to like the big climax. I thought that was going to be the big climax, where Aku faces Jack thinking he has the upper hand. It's not played that large. I'll tell you why in a minute, but it's not played that large. It's not played that big. Jack, while wandering away, finds a city of giant robots. Giant robots. And I immediately think of the episode where Jack was protecting a city of regular-sized robots against one giant machine when he was in a stone samurai body. It was a typical giant monster thing where Jack was mentally controlling a giant stone samurai. And I think that's what this is a reference to. I could be completely wrong. People on the internet are going to refer to it. Because when he's in the city of giant robots, he then finds a broken obelisk, like a giant black stone pillar that's been broken, and a pair of red glasses. Like red glasses broken on the floor. And I know it's a reference to something. I have to look it up. But it's obviously something that shakes him. Like, he knows what was here. He has been here before, and now everything's gone. And it bugs me to all hell. After this video, I'm going to look it up, because it bothers me way too much. After the video, I'll look it up. Anyway, he's in this town, and he's looking around at what he once knew, and Ashi shows up. Ashi was trained to track Jack through oceans. Like, her sisters tracked him through the forest, through a desert, through a freaking river that carried him unconscious. She's gonna find him. She gets there. And it only takes a few minutes. Like, that writers do not waste time on the whole, like, you left me and I had to leave you. Basically, he just tells her everything he's ever loved are memories. And he does not wish for her to be a memory. And that's that. Ashi takes his hands and tells him it's gonna be okay, and that's that. They squash it. For now. Guess who shows up? Aku shows up. With Scaramouche, because they both think they have the upper hand. And Aku's like, you don't got your sword. Jack pulls his sword out. Aku looks at Scaramouche and his head blows up. You don't even see laser beams. Just turns and Scaramouche's head just blows up. He is officially dead. Officially, but he's officially dead. And Aku just walks away. Aku is just freaking cocky, and he's like, I'm just gonna walk away. If I leave you alone, you can't hurt me. Jack goes for him, misses once or twice, because, you know, shapeshifter, shape-shifting master of darkness. He shapeshifts, you know, Jack gets lost in, like, holes he makes in his body. He can't touch him. And then here's the good part. Here's the part that makes this episode perfect for the build-up to the final episode. Like, perfect. You know, you already covered the fact that Jack misses his home, that Ashi loves Jack, and, you know, Jack's still awkward about it. Ashi even asks him, were there any girls before? And Jack says, never been any girl. He was like, what, 9? He said 8. I think he was 8 when he left his home. So, you got that covered. They really explain to you their relationship, and that she is willing to fight Aku alongside him, and she refuses the idea that she must be left behind to be protected. And then Aku is there, and Aku says, "Time out." You know, you have this. Could you imagine Thanos? Just Thanos going, "Time out." Freaking Darkseid. Hey guys, give me a break. No, Aku does that. Time out. And he smells Ashi and he sniffs her, and you get this great flashback. Everyone's been discussing who is the father of the daughters of Aku. Who is the father who, you know, helped lead to 7 freaking top-notch assassins. And the term daughter of Aku is quite literal. Well, not in the Greek and Roman sense. That's a bit too literal for me. But Aku remembers where one day he went to the temple. He found the women of Aku. Saw a statue of himself and said, "Hey, there's a nice statue." And he drops like a portion of himself into like a mug and says, "Praise this mug. This mug is me. This you may now worship this mug. You are the daughters of Aku." And that's why they're so obsessed with Aku, because he himself had come to them and said, "Hey, stamp of approval. I like you girls." Ashi's mother drank that mug, which was never intended. Aku was like, "Here, praise it." No, she drank of Aku. And Ashi is literally born from that. And now we have the true conflict. As Ashi and Jack cross swords because Aku is controlling her completely. She could talk, she can't physically fight it. And Jack's giving her all the speeches, you're stronger than this, he doesn't control you, you're not your mother, you're not your father, and everything, all the typical speeches you expect to get. And you expect her to fight against it. You really do. It's a Samurai Jack. Good must fight evil. Good must defeat evil. No. She fights against it, and against our expectations, she fails at it. She cannot in any way stop Aku. And they're crossing swords back and forth. And, you're getting tense because you're like, okay, so, you can't kill her. He loves her. Is she going to kill herself? What's going to happen? And Aku kind of snaps his fingers and says, let me bring out the best of you. And the best of you is Aku. And she transforms into a female Aku. The sleek, thin, tall, flaming eyebrows. No face. Just the white eyes, flaming eyebrows, flaming sword. Once again, a throwback, reference. Once again, a reference to Batman Beyond. Really resembles Ink, the villain Ink. With that simplified form, where she didn't really have feet, just kind of spikes. And that is Ashi now. Ashi becomes this. And she shapeshifts. She could grow taller. She could grow blades in my hands. And they're just going at it. And, and Jack is just avoiding her. And he breaks her sword. But when breaking her sword, he nicks her. Just a little bit. Nicks her on the shoulder. And it's enough where her face peels out of this black flesh. A la symbiote from Spider-Man. Venom just kind of peels out. And she screams at him, "You have to kill me." Yay! They use the word kill in the kids' cartoon. She doesn't say destroy me. She doesn't say stop me. She says, "You have to kill me. You have to kill me." And then kill Aku. And you feel it. The voice actor, Tara Strong. Oh, we love you. Oh, we love you, Tara Strong. We love you, storyboard artist. It's for a really simplified animation. You capture that moment of desperation. It's such a good moment. Where she says, "You have to kill me, and then you have to kill Aku." And the flesh recoils back into the blackness. And Jack drops his sword. Once again, you don't know what's going to happen. When she says that, you don't know what's going to happen. You know what needs to happen, but you don't want it to happen. Jack finally got himself someone. And as he told himself, be careful. And by the way, this whole time Aku knows they like each other, because he comes in at the moment where Ashi's holding Jack's hand and tells him, we'll fight Aku together. He sees that. That's when Aku shows up. But Jack just falls to his knees and drops his sword. And Ashi goes to strike, and Aku stops her. Aku stops Ashi. Bit of a cop-out. Normally you expect Aku to just... No, actually, normally you expect a villain to just let it happen. You expect the villain to be like, let this guy die at the hands of someone he loves. You expect that. But this is Aku. And he's a cocky mofo. This is Aku, the shape-shifting master of darkness. The Shogun of Sorrow. The guy who's a jackass to Jack. And he tells Ashi to stop. And he picks up Jack's sword. Not the first time this happened. Check out my video on Jack's Already Lost. I talk about that, about how Aku can hold Samurai Jack's sword. He can't wield it, but he can hold it. So yeah, check out my video on Jack's Already Lost, and you'll see a discussion about that. But Aku picks up the sword, and you get this great final image, and it's that kind of scattered ink painted image that you always have from Samurai Jack, from the original intro, when Jack rolled into battle and it's like this scarred off, splashing of color, and it's just Aku standing holding Jack's sword. Jack on his knees at Aku, Aku's massive. And then at Aku's side is just this really stylized, angular, killing machine that is Ashi. Akuashi. Akashi. Akashi's a Japanese name, so I don't know about that. I think it is Akashi. Akashi is a Japanese name. Akuashi for now. Or Akashi. Let's say Akashi. Akashi. And then it cuts. The second to last episode ends on a cliffhanger. Beautiful. To Akatsuki, you glorious bastard, you. Good episode. Great episode. It begins good because you expect you get the silliness of Jack acting awkward. You get the cliche of Jack leaving her, but they quickly cut that out real quick. That's just a little bit of a cheap icing. It's the fondant. The fondant on your cake. It's the cheap icing. You get the lead up. Ashi gets a little eye candy, and she likes what she sees. Because I don't think she's ever seen a man naked, so she likes what she sees. You get the build up. You get Jack basically saying that everything's so fragile in his life. And he refuses things to become memories. He's tired of that. And now she says, I will not become a memory. And you know what's going to happen. We all knew something was going to happen with Ashi. But this is completely out of left field for most of us. I did not expect this. So in the beginning, that 1/3 that sets up their relationship, and then rather it solidifies their relationship. And then the rest is everything that could go wrong. Everything that could go wrong goes wrong. And it's a great episode. It's a great lead into the final episode. So Scaramouche handled, done. No more hanging around with that. Now it's just what's gonna happen. How's he gonna free Ashi? Will killing Aku free Ashi? Will Ashi somehow be able to regain control? Which I doubt, given the setup in this episode. I guess now what it really comes down to is, are the armies coming? Is the cavalry on its way? Will the Scotsman and his daughters show up? The archers, the raving kids, the rave kids, the woolies. Like, will these people show up all in the last episode? Because this episode flies by really quickly. Like, it goes by so quick. It is still the full, half-hour cartoon, what, 20 minutes? But, man, when it ends, you're like, is that it? It just started 10 minutes ago. That's what you feel about this episode. Like, you want more. It leaves you wanting more. It's a great episode. To the point where I wish the last episode was an hour long. Because how you gonna fix all of this in one episode and not feel it crammed? That's my only fear. Predictions for next week? God, what did they say? Predictions for next week? All the heroes are gonna show up, just as Aku. I'm sure Jack's gonna be tied up. Aku's gonna make a huge ceremony about it. He has to. I feel Aku, my prediction, Aku is gonna probably put Jack on display for the world, for the universe to see. That way everyone knows that Jack is dead. He's gonna probably put him on display and publicly destroy him somehow. Don't know how. But of course, I feel at that moment, the cavalry is gonna show up, and then the shite will hit the fan. I believe that's how it's gonna end. Granted, it's all gonna have to be crammed into less than 20 minutes, but we'll see. I mean, this episode gets me hyped. Will Ashi survive? Will Jack survive? Once again, if Jack kills Aku, will he then begin to age, and will him and Ashi be together? Will they be one last time portal? And once again, will I find out the reference they made in this episode? I have to look it up. I will look it up. And by next week, I'll have it up there, and I'll be like, yeah, it was this. I feel like an idiot for not realizing it, because there's so many episodes with robots, and men with red glasses. I'm trying to think if it was Dexter, or Dextor. An episode where Jack meets the scientist who helps him named Dextor, but he had red goggles, not red glasses. We'll see, guys. But yeah, I'm excited. I hope you're excited because this is gonna be great. Just gotta cross our fingers so it all works out in the end because I really hope so. I mean, it would be so hard if this had a bittersweet ending. I wanted to have a happy ending. Jack needs his happy ending. In every sense of the word. Anyway, guys, once again, I am Dante. Like, favorite, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And I'll see you in the future. Later.